and hot.
Hey, everybody. I'm Melanie Lauren.
I'm Holly Chanel. Welcome to the podcast.
This is Dipped with Sweet and Hot. Yes.
Amen and Ashe. Okay.
Yes. Welcome to the continuation of the season of Black
Yes.
Love.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
We have a nice, deep conversation on deck for today. I'm excited.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
We're digging deeper than the Black rom-coms, folks. Still going in.
She did not come out the gate with a Black rom-com rep.
Listen,
That is growth.
at least I didn't name one this
You
time.
didn't. Look at you. Look at you. We
You know
still
what
gonna
I
have
call
some fun
that?
though.
Growth.
But you know what we do? We always gonna have fun, even if we're talking about something that's thought-provoking and meaningful. That's what we promise you here on Dibble
Mhm.
Sweet and Hot. So just so you know, what we're gonna get into today is we're gonna talk about Black communal love. We've been
Ooh.
talking about different kinds of love relationships between Black people and ways that Black people express and experience love. We're going to talk about the love between folks in the Black community
At
today.
large.
At
Yeah.
large, yes. We have a special guest on deck to help us with that. So
What,
that's
two
coming
guests in
up.
the row?
I told you we were going to bring in diverse perspectives
I
on
love
this show.
For us and for the dipped
And
audience.
I'm a woman of my word. But before we get into that, we're gonna do what we
Yes.
always do, which is
Sweet, what you got? Hot, what
no,
you?
no, you got sweet. I'm gonna let you do sweet this time because I
Oh,
won't say it's hot. It's actually I'm a little annoyed. We'll put it like that, but I'm not really hot. But
you just
we
over there
gonna say that.
percolating. That's all you do.
Yeah, we're
Percolating a
gonna
little
do.
bit.
I'm gonna let you do sweet though because we always that's what we do. So you dig in.
Well, you know what, friend? Because I was thinking about like what has been sweet, and I forgot that you were off gallivanting around the country somewhere.
Oh, that was charged.
Yeah, it was during
Feels
half
some kind of
past
way.
Juneteenth, because that's what I call what happened last. What was that, Thursday?
Oh, that's what you refer to the holiday as
Yeah,
half past Juneteenth.
because it's a half month past Juneteenth.
Okay, correct.
But so the reason why I'm giving Melanie grief is when my family and I get together, they expect her to be there.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
because I pop in and out of town, and I'm
Right.
like, where we barbecuing at?
And she was not here for this past half past Juneteenth. And when I walked in the house, it's like my family didn't even want to see me, Mel. They were like, "Where's Melody?"
Yes, I'm in there. Hey,
See,
family.
right. But we had a really good time. So if you've ever heard me talk about holidays in my family, we do it big. But half past Juneteenth is the one that we attempt to do small. And what
Okay.
I mean by small is that's when we bring out the paper products
As
instead
opposed to the fine china.
instead of the fine china. The menu is extremely limited, so I thought.
I was just about to say lies you tell. What
Lies
did y'all
I
have?
tell. So it was just supposed to be hot dogs, polishes, potato salad, right? And peach cobbler. Hot
Okay.
dogs, polishes, chips, potato salad, peach cobbler.
The list just got longer the second time you
Man,
said it
look,
already.
we
What?
had spaghetti with meat sauce, spaghetti without meat sauce, baked chicken, fried chicken with barbecue sauce on it. We had dill salad. Tabitha, speaking of,
Wait,
Tabitha,
dill potato salad? What's
no,
dill salad?
dill salad. Tabitha Brown. And we listen, I need some sponsorship, sis. Tabitha Brown has a bag salad in Target, and it's a dill flavored salad. It's delicious.
Oh, I love dill flavored things. I wasn't
Baby,
aware of this.
it is she got a whole line of salads out at the red dot spot. So
Okay.
go ahead and holler at them. But long story short, the menu ballooned. Okay. A fun was had. And we also have a traveling sangria, I guess. So here's what that
Explain.
so I have a cousin that makes sangria, but
And she does it well. I've
and she
had it.
does it well, but we never finished the sangria. So
Okay.
my aunt, her mother, who hosts the event, always freezes it. And then we bring it out when we make the new batch. So it
Oh,
gets
okay. I thought we were
even.
about to have sangria popsicles and I was on board. Go
No, and
ahead.
so we use the old sangria to chill the new sangria, but it all has alcohol in it.
Yeah, we compounding at this
We're
point.
compounding it. So we've already frozen this year's doozy. So you better be in attendance for next year.
I'm
But all
RSVPing
said,
right now. Okay.
yeah, so a great time was had by all. I love my family and my extended family and my cousins, friends, like everybody just comes out. So at the end of the night, Mel, my aunt goes, Holly, we're gonna have to increase the menu.
Wait, hold on, Auntie. Hold on,
Cause
because first of
she
all, who
said,
felt like doing all this cooking?
she
That's what I'm
said,
surprised
because
about.
people come to my house and they're expecting more food. And I was like, listen, if they expecting more food, I'm gonna tell you what Holly's in charge of. Hot dogs.
What you
But
said originally.
what I said originally, that's what I'm in charge of. I had to make strawberry shortcake just to have a
Oh,
second dessert. And some
yeah.
strawberries over here for you, friend. I got you.
I was about to say because this is a lot, and some of this stuff freezes well.
It
So if you don't have it for the next time I see you, I'm gonna have a problem with that.
I got you. I
Okay.
wouldn't, because listen, I love you. And apparently it's gonna be who done it and what for with my family if you don't get what you are entitled
They got
to.
my back. Thank good looking
They
out, family.
yeah. So that's my sweet not friend. Why are you annoyedly hot?
Yes, like I said, hot is an exaggeration, but it's just, things pop in my head when I'm out here in these streets moving about as I do. And it's just like I laugh at myself because I'm just like, does anybody else think this? So that's my hot today. There are entirely too many cheeks in these streets. When I say cheeks, I'm talking about the buttocks kind.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
It's
mm,
a lot
mm.
of butt cheeks in the streets these days. Okay.
It's
And
so
I'm not
many.
really mad. I'm not really mad. Do what you do. But I had a thought the other day because I was like, damn, it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
And your
And
cheeks
we
is out.
just, oh, I'm just like,
But Mel, that typically means something different. If we out on the street with our cheeks out at 9 a.m.,
it used to.
that
It
sounds like
used
a business proposition to me.
No, it used to. Now you can just be sitting outside minding your business, enjoying a bagel or a salad. You look up, bam,
And you just assaulted.
assaulted by assault. Like you just not even when you expect. You're not expecting it. That's the problem I'm having. It's in context where I don't expect to see
It's
cheeks.
assault and bootery.
Okay, that's good. That was good. But like, if I'm at the beach,
Uh-huh.
fine, let it out.
Now, question. Super
Uh-huh.
producer Lou is asking an excellent question. Whose cheeks are we looking at?
Everybody got things out these days. Okay.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
So
like,
this is a non-gender
I
exclusive.
mean, it's probably more women than
Okay.
anything else, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you. I'm seeing a lot out here. And the thing is, if I'm at the beach, I expect it. If I'm at, the spa, a locker room, dressing room, backstage doing one of my shows, because we got quick changes, these are situations where I expect to see
Just say, not with your
cheeks.
locks and bagels.
I don't even drink coffee, but like I might have had my tea, you know? Like I'm trying to enjoy things and I just look it's early in the morning. It's too early for all of this. And the amount of times that I'm just minding my business and now all of a sudden I don't know you, but I know what your ass looks like. Like that's weird to me. And so I'm like, why are we doing this? Like I said,
I
not
feel like this has
necessarily
just been a
hot
public service announcement right now.
about where you going and what time of day it is. That's all I'm saying. That's my mildly hot for this week.
Mildly hot. You just got assaulted by cheeks and it just did not have to be.
And it can at least be a moments when I'm guarded and protected. That's all. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay. Fair, fair, fair.
So we can do better. We can do better.
We can do better. And you know
Um,
what? I appreciate your hot this week because what you're really doing is highlighting something that in the long run is going to serve us better. It's going to help the community. It is going to help us grow as a people. And I appreciate your commitment and for raising that and highlighting that. And I
Things that
think
go
that,
on in my mind. You're
listen,
welcome.
and I think that that's appropriate for today's show as we talk about how people serve their communities. You know what I'm saying?
Perhaps you can serve your community by considering not assaulting other people. That's all. But yes, we are going to dig into our subject, Black communal love, with our guest today. And speaking of the what you call it, half past Juneteenth, the
Uh-huh.
reason I wasn't with your family is because I was with my family. I was
Oh,
with
you
this.
got family?
I got several families all over the country. Okay, I love all of y'all, but I was with family I was born into.
Fair.
Specifically, I was with my cousin, who is our guest, full disclosure, for this particular episode. His name is Nathan Ollie, and he is the president and chairman of the board of 100 Black Men of Memphis.
Well, let's welcome the good
Let's
chairman.
welcome,
Welcome,
let's
Nathan.
welcome him in. Hey, what's up?
Thank you for
What's up?
being
What's
here.
up? Well, thank y'all for having me this evening.
Yeah, we glad to have you on. So yeah, while you guys were having your hot dogs and polishes and
Mhm.
the extended spread, my uncle, his dad was out on the grill where we were. And
Yeah.
so
Oh,
we had our own little spread and we celebrated the half past Juneteenth together.
okay,
So
got you. Got
we
you.
are, we
Okay.
are, at least I was with another one of my real families.
You were, and which I did, full disclosure, I did tell my family, and that was the only thing
That saved me.
that saved you from a severe side eye. Cause my aunt legit was like, oh, she with her family? Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Now she with a family now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay.
Mel,
I
Mel,
promise
ha
you.
Mel has that effect, so we miss her when she ain't here with us too.
That's right. I gotta come down and visit.
I
And I
love it.
joke and say that Nathan is also a proud husband and a father of two beautiful daughters.
Yes.
One of whom I like to call Bestie. His 6-year-old is my best friend when I come in town.
Hey, hey,
So
hey,
hey,
hey.
okay. Well, don't you get jealous now.
Hey, she
There's
don't play
enough.
about Mel.
I love that. Love that.
Melanie's the baby whisperer. I'm telling you.
Oh, I love them. I love them. They can keep having them. I'll keep whispering to them. Okay.
That's all. That is too cute. So, Nathan, tell us a little bit about yourself and the ways that you're involved in the community, and specifically how you got involved with 100 Black Men of Memphis.
Yeah, sure. So a little bit about myself. Obviously born and raised here in Memphis, and service has always been a big part of my life. My mom, she worked in nonprofit my entire life, and very active in church and everything. So faith, service, servant leadership has always been something that she has instilled inside of me since I was young, and never really thought that I would find myself as an adult serving in this kind of capacity, but here I am doing it, and it's work that I truly enjoy. You know, I feel like service is the highest form of leadership, and
Mm.
I think that there is no shortage of need in our community, and not just the Memphis community, but communities like Memphis all across the country. And it's definitely a burden and a sacrifice, but is one that I have enjoyed over the last few years. And a little bit about the organization. The 100 Black Men of Memphis is one of the larger chapters of a national organization called the 100 Black Men of America. And the mission of the organization is to enhance the economic and educational opportunities for Black and African Americans in the communities in which we serve, and obviously mine is the greater Memphis community. So a lot of the work that we do ties back to the youth. We are a mentoring organization at our core. We do have some other initiatives that are near and dear to us as well, like health and wellness and economic empowerment, and education as a whole. But we're a mentoring organization, and that's how we were started. And like I say, even the other things that we do, in some kind of way, it ties back to the youth. So you know, our slogan is our tagline is "What they see is what they'll be." So we try to
Mm.
expose kids to different to things that they don't see in their typical day to day, because a lot of times, you know, school is the only time that kids can eat. They're the only time where they're the most safe. And when, you know, 3 o'clock comes, they're right back out in the real world. And So we try to be an extension of the schools where we can, be an extension of the church, and let them know that, hey, there are other avenues to get to where you want to go than the ones that you're exposed to every single day. So that's a little bit about what we do at a very high level. But yeah,
Okay.
that's the work.
And so I know you meant, and it's a very important work that's being done in cities all over this country. So how many cities have a 100 Black Men chapter?
Ooh,
Or I know there's one. I know there's one in Chicago.
oh
It's
yeah,
probably you. You may not know the number of cities, but
yeah.
like,
So
what are some of the other ones?
it's well over 100. I think
I'm surprised to hear that.
120, something like that,
Okay.
Wow.
across the country. Also in the islands, and we've got a chapter in London as well.
Oh, that's
Okay.
beautiful.
Why do you think, in particular, it's important for Black men? If you can get 100+ Black men in more than 100 different cities to sign up to be a part of this effort, then there's obviously a lot of thought about the value of Black men banding together in their
Yes.
communities and doing this kind of thing. So why would you say, I guess, in your opinion, why it's important for specifically Black men to do this? Not that, if it was 100 Black women of Memphis, that would be valuable too, right? But specifically for men to be doing it.
Yeah, but well, and I'll say that the number 100 is more of a statement number.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of chapters would very much love to have 100 members. They'd be so lucky. And we are one of the chapters that has well over 100 members. And
That's
but I'll
great.
tell you, the problem is, even though we're one of the largest chapters, the problem is going to continue to be engagement, because it is such a, to answer your question though, Mel, the reason why it's so important for Black men is because the need is the greatest with the young males, especially in this day and age. They're heavily influenced by so many different external forces, and a lot of them don't have male father figures in their household. They didn't grow up with fathers in the home. So they seek that validation, that sense of belonging in other places, and it's rarely is it a positive source. So that's why it's so important. And I mean, I think we all see the news. We all are on social media. We see what's happening every single day. It's babies raising babies as a result of that. Not enough men in the home, not enough men in the community. I mean, that's why the need is so great. It's because the stakes are high, and it's becoming a rapidly increasing problem across metro areas across the country. So that's why the need is so high. But there also has to be a passion for it, because kids can see through, yeah, the bullshit. Like
Performative.
if
Yeah.
yeah, if you're not if you forced to be there, they're gonna see that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to be there, they can sense that too. So
Mm-hmm.
they can see right through you. So it has to be genuine. And quite honestly, a lot of people just don't have it in them. So engagement is the hard part. People love to be a part of something that has a mission that they like to hear, and sounds good. And I would love to be a part of that, wear the t-shirt, all that kind of stuff. But actually getting involved and being engaged is a different story. And that's where you really see who has a heart for it.
And that's where the rubber meets the road, is the doing of the work day to day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Getting actionable. What has surprised you most about doing this work? Because something you said in your last response about, understanding where the needs are, that the needs are greater,
Hmm.
that, we don't have a lot of Black men in the homes and whatnot. Sometimes I know folks get into this work and find out, wait a minute, that might not actually be the root of the problem. What has surprised you most? What discoveries have you made that you weren't expecting to make in doing this work?
Just to your point that there's more than one root.
Mm.
There's more than one root issue. There's no, and because of that, there is no one size fits all solution. It takes more than just organizations like the 100 Black Men of Memphis and America to close the gap. I mean, it takes all stakeholders. It takes the church. It takes the schools. It takes the parents, most importantly. It takes parental, people, guardians. It takes neighbors. It takes everyone if we really want to close the gap and change if we have to be the result that we want to see, be the change that we want to see. But I think the biggest surprise is like that's one, right? Every situation is different. Most situations are different.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask 100 different kids why they committed the same crime, you get 100 different answers most of the time.
Mm.
Right.
So that's one thing that I noticed. But the rest, it personally, it's I was surprised by how much I could stretch myself. I think
Mm.
that if I really knew the workload that this seat required, I probably wouldn't have done it. So the fact that I kind of came in not knowing what to expect, I think it definitely, like I said, it's been a time commitment and a sacrifice, but it's also allowed me to stretch and it's opened a lot of doors for me that I probably wouldn't have otherwise. So yeah, I think those are the two things that have kind of surprised me the most in this process.
Awesome.
Mm. I'm curious then, just by listening to you talk about that. I'm sure you've had, as you've gotten in deep with the organization, and it has been a sacrifice of time and energy and all of these things. When you work that hard for something and your investment is that high, when you see something go well, there's like a different level of validation, appreciation, reward. And so I'm curious, like, can you share with us something that you've seen, I guess, as a positive impact or a result of some of the work that you and your organization have been doing?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I can tell you that we have great relationships, great mentoring programs, and two and well three schools here, but we really have a good footprint in two of them. And I had the pleasure of spending some time with the students that are in our program during their last week of school, and they were telling me how big of an impact it's had, in their lives over that 6 month period. Their attendance improved dramatically. They were visibly in a better mental state. They were looking forward to finding ways to not be on the streets in the summertime and committed to coming back to this mentoring program next year. So it's things like that. And we also donated a weight room to one of our middle schools a couple of weeks ago. So when the students get back in school next month, those athletes will have access to a brand new weight room. So seeing the kids that were practicing there for summer football or whatever they were playing, seeing the look on their faces when they saw the gym equipment being delivered was amazing. And then also, when I think about organizational impact internally, is finding innovative ways to do more with less or
Mm-hmm.
accomplish more
Mm-hmm.
with what we have. So I've been trying to incorporate different processes to streamline a lot of the things that we got going. So leveraging AI to do a lot of to bring just new energy and insights to our organization. So those are yeah, I'll say those are some things that I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
So conversely,
Hmm.
we know this work is not easy, and
Oh,
you touched on, you said had you known what it was, you might not be this knee deep
Surprise.
into it, right? Surprise, surprise.
right.
um, but I wanted to know what keeps you going when things get dark.
Well, it's the work. I mean, it's what I enjoy doing. And I know that it's benefiting kids and not just kids, parents and people here in the community. The work that we do, we don't do it for, gratification or, we don't do it for money. We definitely don't do it for the money. I do
Yeah.
it because I do it because I enjoy it and I know that it's helping people, and whether or not we get recognized or if we receive gratification for that, that's of no consequence. It's about knowing that we are contributing to a solution.
Yeah, and we're circling around something that I feel like we can just say explicitly, which is like this whole idea that operates in our society, but I would say specifically within the Black community. Like we're talking about Black communal love.
Hmm.
There's the saying that I am my brother's keeper.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was little, there was this painting that got really popular. I think it was a painting, or was it a photo? It was a piece of art that was really popular, and it had, I think it was a painting, but these two little boys depicted in this, and like one of them was like carrying the other one. And then there was like a little slogan or caption under it that said, I think it said, "He ain't heavy, he's my brother."
Mm.
And so like we're circling around this idea, especially within the Black community, that I am my brother's keeper. And a lot of people believe that and feel that and live that out. And that's obviously something, it sounds like, that you align with. So I'm just wondering, like, when you hear people say that, like, what are your thoughts about that?
I say prove it. That's my initial thought.
Mm.
Uh, because, it's a great thing to say, but other cultures do it better than we do.
Oh,
Mm.
Uh,
Let's talk
so
about it.
yeah, I mean, they do. When I think of my brother's keeper, I think of, conceptually, I think of group economics and, communities supporting one another and growing together. And we are at the bottom of that totem pole. So, when I hear people say that, I think it sounds nice. Living that and practicing that is a different story.
Mm-hmm. And I think, I mean, we could do a whole podcast about like ways that how that shows up or why we feel like we aren't always our brother's keeper, right? Like why we don't, like you said, why we might like to say it, but we don't always live it out. But it's something that you obviously have chosen to live out. I guess I'm curious too, like as you are out in the communities, you meet and you see other people and how they may be lifting each other up. Obviously that's what you guys are doing as an organization, but I imagine you rub shoulders and you come into contact with people in the community and you can just see some examples of like how Black people are showing love to their community. And I'm just curious, like
Absolutely.
what are you seeing?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, Memphis has, I think, literally over 2,000 nonprofit organizations here.
wow.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them have very, very similar missions. So it's a lot of work, good work being done. I mean, every single day. I mean, there are community engagements and activations that are given back to the community, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's education, making sure that students have school supplies for the going into the school year for the next month, whether it's feeding the needy or mentoring. There are tons of organizations doing great work here. I think the issue isn't though it isn't those organizations. Well, it's lack of resources. That's not that. I think that's the big thing
Mm-hmm.
with organizations. Honestly, it takes money to
Ugh.
to
Of
to run a
course.
nonprofit. It takes money to run a nonprofit organization just like any other business, and a lot of them simply lack the resources to increase their capacity and expand their reach. I think that's the biggest limiting belief. But outside of that, you'll be surprised at the collaborative work that's being done here to help people that are less fortunate, and it's a lot of less fortunate people here.
That leads me to another question that I'm going to ask you to expound upon. You mentioned earlier about how 100 Black Men is definitely a more youth and mentoring centered,
Hmm.
but I guess tangentially you're benefiting parents. Can you talk about, because I guess what I'm getting at is we've got parents who are winging it, right? Who
Yeah.
are doing the best they can with what they have because they are products of systemically disenfranchised structures and communities and things of that nature. And then enter 100 Black Men and over 2,000 organizations who are trying to help do this work by focusing on the next generation. What types of outcomes have you been able to realize specifically for parents that are struggling, not necessarily even struggling, but just need support, just need villagers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great question, Holly. And we haven't been tracking that. That's
Mm.
a great question. That's something that we definitely should start to focus more on, and to start tracking. As you said, our programs definitely benefit parents, indirectly. I think that we could do a lot more in terms of having targeted programs that focus on them specifically. There are organizations that do. focus on parents, obviously, fathers first, and so there are a number of organizations that we work with that do focus on parents. But in terms of what we do, we haven't been tracking that. So that's definitely something that I'm going to look into moving forward. But
I'm on
I do say
evaluators in Memphis. If you're looking for some pro bono work, make sure you reach out to Nathan. Okay.
that. But I will say that with our new mentoring program that we're revamping, we will have an opportunity to do that because we're starting to mandate more parental involvement in our programming. So I think doing that will put us in position to be able to track those outcomes with that group more easily or easier in a way that makes sense. So I appreciate you bringing that up. I never really thought about that.
I think
My
it's a good,
pleasure.
yeah. Because I'm sure you probably do experience it anecdotally a little bit, right? Like I would
Oh yeah, I mean, I
parents
get
coming up
voicemails,
and
emails,
yeah,
yeah, oh yeah, all the time. But having a mechanism in place to track that,
to really
yeah,
track it,
that could
yeah.
help, and that could help attract more donors so that we can expand our reach, our impact too. So
As a nonprofit professional myself, I just want to go on record as saying that qualitative data is just as important as quantitative data, friends. I know the quantitative data gets the money in the doors, but stories matter.
that's true,
Absolutely.
absolutely,
Continue. Thank you very much.
absolutely,
Absolutely. Save these emails.
Yes, save these emails. I mean, because here's the
Yeah.
thing, what proves it, stories matter. Yelp reviews, Amazon
hmm
reviews. If we're looking to find out something, people tell you a story about their experience with a specific product or a service or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So that you can't tell me that stories don't matter. They
That's
do.
right. Right.
They
for
definitely do.
sure.
So
Definitely.
I'm sorry, I'll
I
get off that soapbox. Pardon me.
no, but I think you make a good point because a lot of impact can't be boiled down to numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But when you looking across from somebody and you can see their face and they're telling you how this thing has helped them,
Yeah,
or you don't even, maybe they're not even telling you, maybe you're just watching change happen right before your very eyes. That's priceless. You almost can't put a number on that. So I think that's a good point. With that in mind, I have a couple other questions and we're winding down here, but like making impact and people wanting to get involved. Can you talk a little bit? I'm gonna ask you a two-part question. If someone is interested in getting involved with 100 Black men, how should they go about doing that and supporting the work of 100 Black men? But also, maybe there's someone who's listening to our podcast. Maybe they're
Millions.
that's right. To the millions of people listening to Dipped with Sweet and Hot. For those of you who are wondering, how can I get involved? If you have a heart to get involved in supporting your Black community, but you don't know where to start, what would you say to those people?
I'll start with the second question. I would start by asking yourself if you were whatever age group you're looking to serve, right? Who would you like to hear from? What would you enjoy? And I think that's a good starting point, because there's so many areas. When you talk about giving back, there's so much that you can do, right? There's so much that you can do. So I think that finding some kind of connection with whatever area you want to serve in is important. Do you have story about health? Is health and wellness
Mhm.
important to you? Is it mental health? Is being physically fit, important to you? Did when you were growing up, did you benefit from having a mentor? Was there a teacher that really impacted you or your life? So I think that starting there will help you figure out kind of what lane you want to go in terms of service. So I
Mhm.
think that's a good starting point. And I would say that no matter what you choose, the 100 Black Men is a great place to start your journey of service. And in order to do that, you should be able to go to whatever. If you're in Memphis, please reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, all of that. But the 100 Black Men of Memphis Facebook. That's an easy way to reach out to us, and we'll get you in the loop. But each chapter has their own website. We're all independently run, so you can go to that. You could probably, and all the domain names are different as well. But you can search
Just
do a
hit up
Google
Google.
search. Just hit up Google for the 100 Black Men in your market or your area, and it'll take you to the website. And every website should have the contact information for at least the president of that chapter, if not somebody directly involved with membership.
So I have a smidge of a hard question, and I hate to
Okay.
put you on the spot. By any shot, are you following politics, national politics specifically?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
I am.
Okay.
Well,
As
I don't
much as
spend
we can
too much
stomach.
time on it,
As
but
much
yeah,
as we can stomach, because I'm in
yes,
the same
exactly,
boat, right?
exactly.
Like
Yeah, I
sometimes,
can only take so much.
sometimes my mental can't take it, right?
Yeah,
And I
I had to
turn on
cut that
some
debate off
classical music.
halfway. Yeah, I couldn't even get
Yeah.
all the way to that debate.
So, given what we know, what's happening with the upcoming presidential election
Mhm.
and recent decisions with the Supreme Court, things that we're seeing happen, especially in the South with our educational systems, how is the current state of our political landscape influencing your service?
The short answer is it's not changing anything. I think the problem existed well before this administration or this campaign, this presidential election came about, and it's going to persist honestly well after it as well.
Mm,
So it has it's of no consequence in terms of how it's impacted our organization and what our focus is. But what I will say is it's provide the opportunity for us to bring a lot of the stuff that we address to light. A lot of the
okay.
things that we talk about, and it's given us the opportunity to bring that to light and to educate people on why it's so important to vote. Why
Mm,
not just in presidential elections, but in local and state elections
That's
as
right.
well. We've used it as an opportunity to educate and enlighten, but it ain't changed nothing.
I love it. I
That's
love it.
right. And so, like, I mean, obviously, people can Google online and see some examples of the kind of things you do. But can you just rattle off a couple? I know you said you're the organization. I know
Mhm.
that you said that you have a mentoring program. But like,
Mhm.
what do you all's activities look like with the youth?
Yeah, so with our mentoring, we're revamping our mentoring program. So that's going to be our core flagship program.
Mm.
And it's called Life Academy, Living in Full Expectation. And we
Oh, come on,
are,
acronym, living in
yeah,
full expectation. I
yeah.
don't want to gloss over that.
That's right.
Life stands for living in full expectation. Write that down, friends. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be our new program. I think I told you in the past, we've been in just 2 or 3 schools, but we're opening this up across the city to students across the city. So we're looking to hopefully have anywhere between 50 to 100 students that
Oh,
we'll be
amazing.
working with over the next year. And we'll have a curriculum for them, a planned speaker series, college tours. So that's going to be our big draw, our big focus.
Mhm.
So very,
And is
very
that like
excited
after
about that.
school?
That would be a Saturday, like a Saturday
Okay.
So
academy.
out of
So
school
Okay.
time
two,
in
two,
general.
two
Okay.
Saturdays a week.
So this
Uh,
sounds like it's very costly, Nathan.
yeah, yeah, we need money. That's what I
Yeah.
said.
So
It
if
costs
if
money to do these things.
if
That's
I were
right.
interested in donating to the cause, how would I be able to do that?
Yeah, so you could do that by going to the 100 Black Men of Memphis Facebook page, and we have information on how to give there. Our new website will actually be up. What's today? Today is the 9th. Our new website should be up on the 15th. We will have a fundraising link or a donation link on the website as well. And that website is, I'll put it in the chat if I need to or something, but it's the
We
100
got it. I
100. Okay.
got it.
Okay, cool. Cool. Cool.
We'll make it public though. And when we post about this episode, yeah, this has been great. I am going to ask you. We've been talking a lot about broad
Hmm.
things and like examples. I'm gonna make it personal, just as our final question here, and then we'll let you go. You have two daughters. They
Yes.
are 6 and 1. Is that
Yes.
right?
6. Yeah.
Okay.
She'll be two.
Ooh, they ain't
She'll be
got
two in
the
October.
tally yet.
Yeah.
She'll be 2 when? When's her birthday?
In October, October 19th.
Okay. We are headed towards a 2-year-old. I'm just wondering, when you think about the world for your children, when you think about the Black community specifically that your children are a part of and will be a part of, what would you like to see?
I would like to see a community that is more collaborative. that is more selfless. I would like to see a community that love that honestly, just like you said, Black communal love that loves one another, right? And I would like to see them to be able to be independent thinkers, to be free to express themselves however they choose, and I just want them to live in an environment that supports that. So that's all I want for them. But in terms of the Black community, I just want us to be more like the other groups. That's what I want. We drive culture, and
Absolutely.
but our status doesn't reflect that. So I just think we can do better. We can do more. But the only way we can do that is if we work together. And for some reason, we just don't want to do that.
A lot of us don't, but a
Right.
lot of us do,
A
like
lot of us
you
do.
and the other people in all these organizations who are definitely putting in the work to.
And what do they say? Each one teach one.
Each
That's
one
right.
teach one.
As long as there are a few of us out here committed to this communal work, to the collaboration, that gives us an opportunity to teach another how to do that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you said, I can't remember what you said your slogan is.
What they see is what they'll be.
And they can be it. You and those who are like you, who are out here doing the work, are showing that to your children as well as to others who are watching you. And so hopefully what we're doing is exponentially creating other people who will have a heart for service.
There we go. That's the goal.
Compound interest.
Right.
As we move forward. This has been a great discussion about
this was fun.
My brother's keeper and showing love to the Black community through service.
And I'm so excited I get to call you cousin now. Hey, cousin.
There we go. Hey, cuz.
Well, Nathan Ollie of 100 Black Men of Memphis, thank you for joining us.
Such a treat. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for having me. This was so fun.
If no one has told you, thank you for what you do for the Black community. We appreciate you.
And all those who labor with you, because
Absolutely.
it is a labor of love.
It is.
Anytime you're volunteering time and energy, especially with other people's kids, it is a labor of love, and we love you for it. So
this is why I'm an auntie. I can give
a round of applause. A round of applause to everybody out there doing this Black communal love work. All right, friends, that's our episode.
That's that peace.
That's that peace.
Like we did that.
Peace out because that's that peace.
And we out of here. Thank you to Nathan Ollie. We appreciate you. Thank you to 100 Black Men of Memphis. Thank you to super producer Lewis. My name is Holly Chanel.
I'm Melanie Lauren, and this is Dip with Sweet and Hot.